right, and welcome to another episode of Filmmakers, P114 Filmmakers podcast. Wow, 14 episodes. I screwed it up on the last one. Anyway, this is season 1, episode 14. And we are going to finish off the season with a third commentary. Today we are going to talk about The Walking Dead. Before that, I am Jesse Knight.
I'm Randall.
Nathaniel Hinton.
I'm Randall Lanier.
Aiden Ford.
And we're here to talk about all things filmmaking. And in particular, we're going to talk about a show made right next door in Atlanta somewhere. It's called The Walking Dead. We're going to talk about the very first episode. And honestly, it was one of the few things that we came up with that all four of us have seen that we could probably comfortably talk about, you know, a little bit. So just sort of when this show first came out onto the scene, so to speak, and stuff like that, what were y'all's initial impressions in the beginning? Were y'all staying away from it, or did y'all dive in as soon as it happened?
I kind of dived in.
Did you hear about it before? Did you know about the comic or anything?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't know nothing about it. I just thought it was interesting, the makeup effects, the whole ordeal, the whole style of everything. I thought it was very creative.
Sure.
And it was very kind of gory and neat to have something like this on television.
And you knew about zombies and stuff.
Yeah, stuff like that.
And who doesn't love zombies?
Yeah. Both you guys I know are familiar with zombies as well. You know, Night of the Living Dead. Like that was probably the first zombie movie I sat down to watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would have been a good one too. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that. But
They're coming for
pretty
you,
neat.
Bob.
And I like it was made in the '60s, but it still holds up.
Yeah.
Like that first one, it really holds up well. The remake is pretty good with Savini. I know I'm totally going away from Walking Dead, but Walking Dead is built upon that legacy that they started.
It wouldn't have happened, probably.
No.
Did George Romero have anything to do with this?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Maybe
I'm not 100% sure.
Conversations, but I don't know. You know.
I don't think so.
Yeah. And
I mean, the person who did it, the showrunner and all that stuff, I mean, they were fans of the.
They had to.
Yeah.
I mean,
How many?
Randall,
Randall, you might be able to answer this question. I should know it, but I don't. The comic Walking Dead had been out for some years before the show.
Yeah.
Do you know how long?
I don't know how long it had been out, but I knew it was a comic book. Or I actually went to a website that I usually looked at about every week, a weekly thing they had on there, stories or whatever type thing, and articles and all that stuff. And I read an article about the person who had seen this, who had already seen the first episode, and said it is great. It's just like the comic book and all this other stuff. And I'm not a horror comic book fan as much.
Yeah.
Right.
And especially with the independence, because it's part of Image. It's not Marvel. It's not DC. It's Image. I think it's still Image. Yeah. Image. And I wasn't a huge fan of Image titles as much.
Right. So you didn't automatically pick it up in the beginning.
Right. So and plus, like I said, horror comics and all that stuff too. It just that I was just not that they or afraid of them. I mean, just that I guess I never really got a hold of one that was really good, or never felt like it was a good story or whatever. Type thing.
Yeah.
But that kind of thing. But they said it was really perfect. With this and Halloween was coming up. It started on Halloween.
Oh, the show did.
The show did. It premiered that night. It happened
I remember I was
Sunday night happened to be Halloween, and so they kind of
taking me back.
Right, and the guy who did Robert Kirkman, is that the guy?
Well, he's the writer of the comic.
Of the comic book, and eventually he's the creator of the series. He's a big part of the TV show too.
He's one of the
he was the showrunner for a little while, but he was a showrunner after was it Dan O'Bannon? No, not
I
Dan.
I honestly don't remember who was the showrunner at the beginning.
After season 1, they got rid of super famous
Frank Darabont was
Darabont. That's it, Darabont. Yeah. They got rid of him after the first season, though. I mean, wow, he made a great one. Or was it the second one? Second season, they got rid of Darabont.
Yeah. Actually, wait, are we talking about Bad Cop?
No, he's the showrunner, the guy who's heading the whole show. He's not in the show. He makes the show.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No. My bad.
Darabont was famous for several big pictures. He was a director and
a writer, and
Frank Darabont.
He's still around, but but I don't know. I don't know the full story behind that as much. I didn't get the whole gist of that one, but I wasn't paying attention, I guess, to stuff like that at the time.
Right. Oh, he directed Green Mile, Shawshank
Yeah.
Redemption, The Mist.
That's
Yeah.
good stuff right
This
there.
is really good.
Or a writer of that stuff. Sorry, he was the writer of those. Yeah,
He wrote The Green Mile.
yeah. Well, Stephen King wrote the book, but he wrote
I was gonna say.
he wrote
The
the
script.
The
the
script,
script.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was really
Yeah. But he directed The Mist. He directed several episodes of The Shield. He did direct Green Mile and Shawshank Redemption, so he's part of that. That's cool.
I was living in Florida at the time, where I was living on the Panhandle of Florida, where the time is different, so it came on earlier there than it did here. By an hour,
Right.
an hour difference, time difference, or whatever, just because of the time difference. But so I was able to get it, watch it early, so I don't have to worry. And I had to go to work the next day or whatever. And I was in the military at the time, so you kind of have to be there at a very early time. So I was able to watch it just a little bit early because this thing came on at 10 o'clock. It came on 9 o'clock there, so
Right.
and I usually went to bed at 10.
Yeah.
So it worked out in that respect. And it said, oh, I'll give it a chance, and so I was able to watch it. And if I just didn't like it, I could just turn it off. And so I just was hooked. I was hooked from the very scene, the first scene that we will see.
Yeah.
I was hooked from that point on.
So
Yeah.
the comic book. How long has the comic book been out? I didn't know nothing.
I'd say it was
This
at least
was
out
what-
for
when
2 to
did-
5 years before the show.
What was it, 2010 when this came out? No, yeah, 2010.
It was 2010.
Yeah.
So it was 2010. So it probably had been at least, let's see, it's 12 issues a year, so it would be 24, maybe about 24 issues, maybe in the 30s, maybe or something like that. Maybe I'm just spitballing. I honestly don't really know at all.
2003 is when the comic started.
Oh wow, that long. So it'd
Been out a while.
Yeah.
It's October 2003 to present.
so
They're on 186 issues or whatever right now.
Yeah, so 7. Yeah, this probably was close to 100. That was probably why they kind of came up with the same time frame
Right.
too. Was close to the 100th issue, put out the show.
Yeah, and it was very successful
Yeah,
rag by
yeah.
that time. So yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So
I have-
that's,
I have
that's
a-
probably about.
So successful that it's caused a rift in some of the viewership of the show. Who, in the beginning of the show, they liked, but a lot of people who are
Yeah.
diehards to the nitpicky structure of the story in the comic book, some of them jump ship.
Honestly, like
Yeah.
I really, I will admit, I picked up the first, I don't know how many issues in the volume 1 of it.
Right.
That's the only issues I've ever read of it.
Right.
I liked the show better.
Yeah.
I like the art. Our art, I didn't like at all. It looked like little kids drew it or whatever type thing. It
I like the
didn't really-
art, but
It just looked like the little kids drew it. I don't know. That's I'm not a big art fan anyway. Or
some people are
I
kind of
shouldn't say
off put by
art
black
fan,
and
but-
white.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I mean that didn't really bother me. It's just that the way the
style,
style
yeah.
of it. I was just like trying to get. Because like I said, the show was so good at the time that I read this. Like I said, they probably started, I guess, around
Right.
the same time. The show was so good, and it's just like the art was kind of throwing me off or whatever.
Right.
Type thing. But it kind of goes with it kind of goes, at least that volume went with the show.
Yeah, they kind of stuck with it pretty good, and then it seems like
There was differences which I already knew about because
Right.
I'd read where
Yeah.
there were some differences here and there.
Where can you buy it?
the comic anywhere.
Yeah,
Anywhere they
comic
sell
store.
comic book stores.
Any
Any
comic
comic book store. You can get it online. You can probably get all the digital issues
You can
too
go-
through
yeah,
comic
the digital.
services.
Digital issues.
Edward
Yeah.
McKay's in Greensboro probably sells it.
Oh,
there's a comic
they
store
have
near
tons
my
of
house
it. Yeah,
somewhere,
yeah.
too.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it is.
They'll definitely
comic
carry
store.
it. It's just real popular.
Okay.
You know, I'd say as popular as like your major Marvel and DC stuff. You know,
Yeah.
occasionally, and I kind of consider, even though it is with the company Image and stuff,
Image,
which is
yeah.
pretty big, it's still kind of
Yeah.
you know.
They still have some. I mean, they have good stuff. I just had never picked it up because the Image burned me in the '90s. So I
Right,
just like,
as it did many of us. Yeah, it's
the
like, why
writing-
am I buying
most of the
20
Image
different
titles in the '90s were not good.
2 out of
Say.
20 titles were pretty good. That's it.
Really?
Exactly. All it was about artwork to them or whatever
Yeah.
type thing. The artwork was pretty good.
Yeah.
But the story just sucked. I mean,
Oh,
it just
Lord.
like there was nothing to it. It was just fluff, and it was just like, here's good art. but it's just like the story was just like.
What was it, Cyberhawk, or there was one that was just so bad, and they kept trying to bring it. It was like this Silver Hawk character.
Oh, that was Shadowhawk.
Shadowhawk.
But that
yeah.
was.
That was Image.
Was that Image? Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, for some reason I don't remember. Maybe
It might have changed over to
Yeah.
one, but yeah.
I think
It
it's
was
changed.
Image in the
I think
beginning.
it's changed over time. But anyway, it's not really. But yeah, it just like a lot of their titles had just been like that in the '90s, and when they first started, and they were more expensive than Marvel and DC too.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm buying just artwork as what I. Not that that's a bad thing, because
Right.
artwork can be good too.
The paper was nicer. It wasn't rag
Yeah.
newspaper print anymore.
They had like super
So they paid a little more
artwork
into
with
the-
sort of slick to it or whatever
Mhm.
type thing, where other old Marvel and
Use
DC
the
were still
news
using
rag,
them.
yeah, which they don't use anymore.
No.
Yeah.
That's why that's why prices have always gone up.
They're $5 now as opposed to, I don't know, I was paying
Well,
50, 60 cents for
DC's
comic
kinda
when I was
Wow.
a kid.
DC's kind of keeping
About $3.
about $2.99,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's good.
roughly.
Comics are still cheap though.
$2.99.
It's not for a comic. I think it's been a long time for me. A long time.
Well, when I was collecting, it was averaging in the '80s. It was averaging 60 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So
In the '90s, it started seeing $1.29.
Yeah, it started
It's
getting
like watching the
$1.
gas prices.
yeah, it
rise.
went up pretty fast.
Yeah.
Oh god,
It
the
went up
gas
to-
prices when I'm older, it's gonna probably like $10. Like,
Who knows?
Actually, the gas prices aren't too bad.
No. Honestly, and we'll probably
They aren't
they'll
really
switch
that
over
bad
to
right
something
now.
new anyway.
yeah.
I'm pretty
But,
sure.
You think the gas stations are gonna go non-exist one day?
They'll just convert over to like it'll be a place because everybody needs a pit stop place to go and refresh yourself and stuff like that. And whatever kind of vehicle or technology we move to is going to need like charging stations
Yeah,
or
that's
something
right.
like that. There'll be something,
Well,
you know,
sorry, I was
Mhm.
curious.
because people still get tired on trips. You want to get out of the car for a minute.
Yeah.
It'll be in Europe. They have their gas stations, but they kind of feel like rest areas.
They
Kinda
have some
nice.
good restaurants at those places too. I
Yeah.
mean, really, I mean,
Good food.
almost 4-star restaurants at
Where?
those places in Europe.
yeah,
Oh
at those
my
kind of
God.
gas
When I was in
station
Germany-
rest stop areas.
Germany, oh my lord,
Germany's great.
you'll get fat on the way somewhere or whatever because
Yeah.
you'll have these nice restaurants at these convenience store. I mean, not convenience stores, but they're
It
kind of
feels
like a convenience store type thing.
kind
or
of
place, but,
yeah.
but it's like a nice, good restaurant too there. Oh my.
Go.
It's like a really fancy Sheets.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
You know, a little more room.
but it's it's not
Which I
fast
like
food.
Sheets,
It's not
but
fast
Sheets
food.
has everything.
It's not fast food type stuff or whatever. It's like
Food.
food.
Yeah.
You'll get fat as you go on your trip, or whatever, because you'll be like,
I don't need no help.
But the nice thing, if you're in Germany, you got the Autobahn, so it's like 90. You know,
The what?
the Autobahn highway, you can just go, you can fly.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah.
Wait, it's no speed limit? Is that
Not
what you
really.
said? What?
Now don't be an
Over
idiot.
time,
Yeah.
Over
You know,
time, they've
can't be a
kind of
criminal.
they used to be just
Flat out.
flat out, but
Yeah.
now they've kind of, I think they've kind of been a little bit more of a restriction on stuff or whatever. But after what, Autobahn used to be no speed limit
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Pew.
Wow.
Special
Very
road that was
different from the United States.
Yeah.
yeah.
It wouldn't work out well here though, because too many dumb drivers.
Yeah.
There, it's like
There'd be cars piled up like all over the thing. All cars.
Don't give the
every-
Americans,
you couldn't even drive on these roads because they'll be piled
Yeah.
or they're smashed together.
Not lying.
Yeah. Oh man. So, anything else to follow up before we start the show?
No.
We're ready? Okay. All right, everybody. Those of you at home, if you want to, I would advise you to follow along with us. You at home can also play it with the sound. Unfortunately, we're going to have to put that in with our imaginations. All right. So, let's see. I'm making this huge, and I am hitting play on episode 1 of season 1 of The Walking Dead. Right? 1, 2, 3 now. Here we go.
See, this first
Okay.
scene is the one that.
I was looking for, yeah, because you still see like lawns are mowed. There's a car, of course, driving. It's a cop car. And yeah.
Birds
I-
chirping, everything.
Yeah,
Yay, nice.
Now, is this where we get the we don't see zombies yet, do we? We don't see them for
no.
a minute.
one
No, not
in a minute. We will see one.
Oh yeah, is it the girl?
Yeah.
I've worked
That's
with
why
her
it hooked,
actually.
that's why it hooked me whatever, because I was like, well, okay, this is not my daddy's
Zombie
television
movie.
television show either.
Yeah.
Truck is overturned.
Alright, they're probably doing a handheld shot, right?
Looks like it could possibly be.
Just the way it's moving.
maybe,
It's
or-
moving a lot.
Or they have it on a just kind of on a steady cam kind of thing.
Well, yeah.
Or a
The guy-
jib arm.
The guy looks like
That looks
Rick.
like a dolly
the guy
shot,
looks
actually.
like Rick. Looks so young. in
It changed.
Yeah.
He looks like
That's a
little-
dolly shot.
Looks like a little kid in this compared to where he looked at looks in the later.
I know.
seasons.
He's so much older looking now. 8 years, man.
Wow.
Running from zombies. Look at the age.
I wonder
on
if
you.
they made him up a little bit more than what he is. I don't know, but he looks so young in this.
Rick. He been through some shit, man.
Well, see, right now it looks like he maybe went to a car accident or something like that. Maybe he was called to a car accident or something
Yeah.
like that.
And then you see he's got a gas can. And there's
Yeah.
like more cars, more stuff.
Which-
Now
What do you think
you
that
can
cast
do-
cam was gonna do?
No, he was looking. Guy get some gas
Oh.
for his car. Siphon. Maybe he was going to.
I
the
saw hold on.
car
He was called. Yeah.
He wasn't. Yeah, this was after all this happened.
And then he's looking. He's like, what would you have thought coming to a scene like that?
I would have never walked through it.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it's kind of funny to think
Oh.
about it.
Oh.
Okay, you say,
Yeah,
oh
that's
man,
awesome.
maybe
Yeah.
it could happen.
Makeup is good. The
The actress zombie we're about to meet is actually somebody I've worked with twice on 2 different movies. I've directed her. One I was a director, the other was a DP. Her name is Addie Miller. And so it's kind of funny, the zombies in this show actually did pretty well in the conventions. Like Walking Dead stuff for a while in the conventions was the biggest thing going. You talk about this was #1 TV show in America for quite a few
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
3 years.
Which I never, in my wildest imaginations, would have ever thought that the #1 TV show here would be a horror show.
Yeah, right? Zombies, because, you know,
You know, and for so long that was just sort of horror was sort of throwaway.
as
you know?
gory as it is, too.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
Is this girl right here?
N-
Are you talking about?
maybe
Yeah.
so. Yep,
This
yep.
is
This
the
is
little
her.
girl.
That's Addie Miller. The very first zombie
feet.
that we see in the show, and that's cool. I don't know if she does a lot of acting still. I think she does, but yeah. And she was all right to work with. She's pretty cool.
What movie did she play in with you?
She had a small role in a feature I directed called Partners. It was about cops and stuff, and she played just actually a neighbor kid in the movie that had a dialogue scene with the main character. And she's famous for being the jawless zombie, you know, or sort of like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
I think I'd be running a little faster.
Yeah, I would run
I'd be
towards
like-
her and kick her in the head.
I can see everything's okay here. Pew! And that's her.
She's a lot older
Showed
now.
her up
Yeah,
there.
yeah, oh
You
yeah.
gotta
And she was more of a teenager.
This is
when
not
I
something
worked
you
with
see
her.
on TV every day at this
No.
point in time. Now you may see more of it,
Yeah.
but at this point
sure.
in time, it was like again seeing a kid get shot in the head.
Right.
Like,
It doesn't bother me. I mean, not
I mean,
that I would in real life want to see that. Don't get
right.
me wrong.
I mean, it
But,
didn't
like,
bother me. It's just
knowing
like,
it's
that's-
fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, I still
Totally.
can't watch a movie with an animal getting hurt.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
Even if it's off camera, I'm like,
you don't see
Yeah.
kids getting
Robert.
killed or
Curtin.
dogs, whatever, killed or whatever type thing. So
What's interesting, I used to take that into town to work back in the day.
that's good.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's Atlanta right there.
Yeah, I used to live there.
Totally Atlanta right
Yeah.
there.
Were they
I
supposed to
would
be
do
in
that.
Atlanta in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
In
that's
the comic
cool.
too,
Well,
yeah.
they live. It starts out that the small town he lives in, or is, I think the county, or whatever, is outside Atlanta. It's
Yeah.
like
And there's a lot of
like
big
one
stuff
of,
like that.
rural counties.
Yeah, my
in
family
Georgia.
were extras in it. Just
Oh,
Oh,
really?
yeah.
contacts.
No, they're like literally just they live there.
Oh yeah,
That was their last good meal. Bummer.
Yeah, no, the character Shane's pretty interesting. A lot of people liked him, though he kind of went a little bit.
God, he went left, man.
Yeah, I still kind of liked him,
I liked him too.
even in that kind of world. But at the
I
same
kind of felt
time-
bad for him, actually.
Mhm.
To be honest with you,
But
Well,
he got a little bit.
at the
Rough.
end, he did. No, he did get rough.
Yeah,
He
But he
went
did
over-
start off
rolled
as a
over-
good
went
guy.
over. Yeah, I mean,
yeah. I could see why Rick's sort of a better leader. Rick will be a little smarter about
Well,
decision making
Rick-
sometimes.
Yeah.
Rick started out being
Ridiculous.
a
Oh,
well, I
a
mean,
Boy Scout type.
Boy Scout type, yeah, type person or whatever.
Mhm.
And a
But
little
his broken
because
down.
they were talking about if you get this episode or in the scene or whatever, they're talking about how he's having problems with his wife or whatever type thing,
Right.
and she's wanting to.
That's right. And
So
then,
that's why so it gave the audience saying that
Mhm.
with Shane getting up with his wife
yeah.
wasn't as big of a thing because they were having problems anyway. So
Yeah, but as a
Right.
friend, so it's
Yeah,
like,
well,
yeah.
but
And then I thought Rick
but
was
it,
dead.
but it,
Shit.
so you
Well,
don't,
yeah,
you don't
okay, that's why I
dislike.
felt bad
but,
for him.
but it showed that you didn't want to totally dislike Shane or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
were kind of trying to balance
Yeah.
that out. Where
well, I
it wouldn't
thought
be
that they
like
had been
totally-
cheating on each other.
Mm,
I thought
Yeah,
that he had
I
already
feel-
had sex with his wife before, prior
Right.
to the.
and we don't know.
I don't
I don't know.
think
Yeah,
they
I
were,
don't
but
think so, yeah.
but there again, it's one of those
It was
things
so
that's
easy
up
for you
there.
to do it.
In the comic, they really built up that they had thought Rick was dead for a while. And the thing is, like, Shane didn't last nearly as long in the comic as he did in the show.
Yeah, he died like in the first.
Oh, yeah, they
iteration
dealt
or
with him
something
pretty
like
quickly.
that.
And
See,
then it was like, okay.
there's a lot of differences in the show and
Yeah.
the comic because
Yeah.
they changed it for that purpose, so
Right.
so everybody wouldn't know what was going on was
Yeah.
going to happen.
So like,
And I think with the show, you have the benefit of being able to stretch time a little bit
Yeah.
more. You have time to develop your characters a little better. Comic book, you're really...
I think maybe that's why I didn't like the comic
Fast.
book as much either too.
It's
Because it was just
fast.
like
Yeah, it's blurry.
even though I'd seen the show and I kind of knew the basically layout of
Right.
it, it just was like
Right.
boom, boom, boom.
I'm curious how it would have been if you'd read the comic first and saw the show. But I think you'd
Yeah.
probably have the same opinion. I saw the comic. I read tons
I
of
don't
it
know. I've
before
heard
the
people
show, and I
love
kind
the
of like.
comic book. They don't like the show. I've heard a lot. Of
Yeah,
that
me too. And I read the comic before the show, but I like the show. I think a little better. I got kind of tired of it.
yeah, it's the same
In later
stuff.
seasons, but I don't know, Randall. You make me want to go back and kind of catch up again, so I'm gonna do that.
Oh, I thought I was
Man.
going to turn
Well, the
you
new
away
stuff.
from it.
No, the new stuff. You know,
Oh,
I can
you
see
know,
that. You know.
Well, I mean, I think they. Oh, you mean the new show?
Yeah,
yeah.
how the show is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gotten better.
Yeah, I'm more interested in
The
actually
season.
seeing the show than catching up on the comic, honestly.
Yeah, the show's gotten better.
Yeah.
The past 2 years or so, it kind of waned down. I mean, it was just like the character of Negan. I know they're not talking about any of this yet, but I mean, the character of Negan is just like
He became two-dimensional.
yeah.
He really needed a
I think they only
backstory. They
needed-
should have
yeah,
showed.
that backstory, or
Yeah.
especially what they still they
Made
kept
me
him
care
alive.
about
If
the
they
guy.
had killed him
Yeah,
at the
really.
end of last season,
Wait, they killed
Spoilers.
Negan?
no, if they had
Oh, I
killed
was about to
him,
say, you just told me.
if they had killed him,
Oh, that looked fake.
that'd be a different story. But since they kind of kept him alive, they needed more of a backstory to him or whatever.
Right.
Lincoln County, yeah, this is probably out for county out for or takes place in a county further out. I think they are not too far from Atlanta where they're filming it.
Yeah.
Um,
So during this episode, the next few things like grass growing and stuff aren't as big of a deal, because society was still sort of operating a bit up until pretty close to this point. They're still trying to be cops here
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
stuff, you know.
How do you not see that when you drive, though?
it kind of if you're running.
It looks like they put it
Driving,
over the
maybe.
crest of a
I mean,
hill,
I
so
don't
as soon
know.
as you clear over that crest,
Footballing.
it's there.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't stop.
And especially if you're running from the police,
Mhm.
because they're running from them. To
I forgot all about this part.
yeah, this is
Yeah.
when that's when he gets hurt.
Hmm. That's right.
I was watching this Thanksgiving Day, this episode.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I was bored. So I
Okay,
was like,
I hadn't watched it in a long while. It'd been a while since I've seen this episode.
It's funny later
Rectify
on,
finger,
you could tell like it's like, okay, who's been mowing the grass? People started asking those questions.
Yeah.
So we got a couple of cruisers after.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
there
right
we
after
go.
that, so you wouldn't have time to.
So the cruiser's gonna hit the wire too.
Yep, they
Cars
did.
do, yeah, they totally did. I guess. Oh well.
Oh,
The state will pay for tires.
that's pretty cool.
Dang, I just saw the part that messed up on my car.
You did that part? Go ahead.
Was it a zombie driving?
No, it was just this is
Just
way
a-
before any of this happened. They were just regular guys.
So this is actually a flashback. What we see is Rick after he left the hospital right in the beginning when he's riding around and he finds the girl.
Yeah, this is a flashback.
Yeah, and then we go to a flashback. Okay, that's
Right.
right. And that guy's just a perp. with
Bad guy.
Yeah, bad guy with no. Yeah. I think I recognize that dude. I think that's a wrestler.
You might have been.
Yeah, I forget.
Because that's a big thing down there in Georgia or Atlanta. I know there was like they had their headquarters. I think is in Atlanta, whatever for wrestling.
Oh, WWE.
One of the wrestling. I think their headquarters is down there.
Right. Well, McMahon owns all of it now, so yeah.
When I was living down
Makes
there.
sense to me.
Well, I was living down there. A friend of mine really was big into wrestling, and that's what he told me.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't this released like around 2010, 2011?
2010.
I think so. Yeah.
Halloween of 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember how.
I was in 10th grade.
I'm trying to think. It was-
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So,
There you go, this guy.
I think he had a vest
Trying
on.
to shoot the cop.
Oh,
Mhm.
Yeah.
he didn't have a vest
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah, at that angle or whatever, I think his vest wasn't.
Oh, kind of close to his heart too.
Yeah. At that angle, his vest wasn't covering it. This is when he goes to a.
I like that angle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. Good shot.
And then they replace. They do this sort of overhead thing a few times.
I
You
like
get this
it.
in the tank sequence. I think you get this in the hospital bed.
Uh-huh.
And actually, they may do a transition to him in the hospital bed right now. Let's see. Where do we go? Yeah,
Yeah,
ventilator.
it's
We're
into
there.
the
Heartbeat
hospital.
monitor. Okay, we see. Okay, we see the ceiling.
Oh, I forgot they
A little
went
bit of
through all
this.
too.
Yeah.
What do you think they
So-
use? A drone or a helicopter for those
A jib.
sniper shots?
They use something good. I mean, that could just be done on a crane or a jib arm. Honestly, I'd say they just put it on a
Which
jib.
I would
Probably
love to have
these
one.
drones wasn't that heavily done.
But not as
That's
much.
right.
They had them, and big money operations like this could have the heavy lifter drones, and they could move the
Okay,
bigger cameras
yeah.
around and no problem. But I'd say that shot wasn't high enough really for that. They could easily do it on a jib or crane, which is a standard thing on most productions. You'll see a jib, a dolly.
God, this
steady cam.
I thought they just popped in where he woke up. Okay,
Yeah.
I forgot this.
Unless they added some stuff, and since it aired and that, you never know. Which I would doubt, but you know.
Yeah, they might have. I don't know.
Shane gone.
Okay. I was like wondering. I knew they had.
I think he
didn't
was
have
kind
him,
of
didn't show
blending.
him
I think he was just kind of remembering, or
Yeah.
maybe that was what was going on. But that's been
I just,
days ago.
Like I know it was just. I know they didn't have him talking to anybody during that time.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever showed- That's why he gave him the flowers because he showed
Yeah, at the time.
time frame.
Mhm.
Time.
So that's probably a week.
Yeah, when flowers are, yeah, probably.
How are you even alive?
Yeah. I guess they had. He was on life. There's still
Yeah, he was on
people
life
taking
support.
care of him. He's on life support, but
But and he just woke up or whatever from
the clock has stopped. The
Yeah.
electricity has stopped.
Yeah, but the clock has batteries.
Batteries went out.
Yeah.
Huh?
Batteries went out.
No one. Yeah.
I'm just speculating. I don't know.
And it doesn't sound like any of this stuff's working, so he's waking up now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting, they sort of did the same thing in another zombie movie that came out before that, 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
Great
The
movie.
guy wakes up in a
Yeah.
hospital. You know, pretty neat.
It is a good.
I remember people saying that. Oh, it's just like that. You know, whatever. So I don't.
I'd say Kirkman might have been influenced
probably
a little bit. You know. He hasn't walked in days, so he's just
he's also he hadn't walked in a while, and plus that stuff is sticking in him too. That stuff he's got needles stuck in him, and that's why it definitely is not fun to have.
No.
Yeah, because I remember the nurse coming to get him.
Yeah. Catheter is probably the worst part.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody.
But I mean, you know, I was, you know, it's in medical, and I know that stuff is sticking in him. You see that all the time in shows or whatever, movies or whatever, where stuff's sticking in you, and like everything, rip it off.
Rip it off.
Oh,
Like,
that
no.
stuff don't work that way.
No.
That ain't nothing
There's
creepier
some
than a
electricity
hospital.
left. I guess it must be on generator power and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
They probably had an emergency generator.
Yeah. Yeah, not a predicament I don't think anybody wants to be in.
No, it's terrifying.
I don't think he's going to bump into anybody either.
Yeah.
No.
In this shot.
Kirkman said his main point of this was really it's just following Rick in the apocalypse, in a zombie apocalypse. He said that's really it as far as the premise goes and all that kind of stuff, you know. And I kind of like how they don't really explain how the zombie thing happened.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
I don't
yeah.
mind that being something that you kind of are given little nuggets of information along the
nuggets, yeah.
way, but you know, but they're still not sure.
Hey.
It's somebody that got eaten. Are they going to get up? Who knows? Is there enough of them to get up? Doesn't look like it. But were their eyes open? Yeah, he's
She-
freaking out.
She dead.
How they did everything was just very good.
Yeah.
That shit looks so realistic.
Greg Nicotero is the #1 makeup artist on the
He did
planet.
his thing.
I like the thing that we're
company.
giving little nuggets even in this point in time too, where it's just like they're not all just coming at him at one time. Whatever.
Right.
It's like, okay, this
Little
is going in,
bits.
and I'm like, whoa, that's kind of crazy, and that's, you know,
Seeing bullet holes
it's
on the
just, you know,
wall.
seeing
What
little
happened?
things, you know, little.
I'm trying to figure out why is the ceiling broken.
The zombies probably jumped in there.
You know,
Dumb.
probably from.
That's a good question.
I'd say
Yeah.
flashbangs and all
Yeah.
kinds of things like that can cause that kind of damage.
Somebody was using. Yeah.
And later on in an episode, you see there in the hospitals, military coming in and just killing everybody
Yeah.
because you know they're trying to keep the spread of
Right.
that. You know, you're probably gonna get killed because.
I can't remember how long time frame was it from when he got hurt to this.
I'm not quite sure. It seems like maybe a week
Was it
Two
a week?
or
When
maybe
he
a
got
few
hurt. I thought it was like months or whatever.
months.
something
Oh,
like
I don't
that,
know.
'cause-
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Was he in a coma?
Yeah, he was kind of like in a coma.
Okay. And then Shane had quit coming. That would make sense why they would think leave him for dead because they just figured
Well,
he was
they
dead.
thought because the hospital was run over, and I think that's why they had heard the hospital had been
overrun. Yeah.
overrun or whatever type
Yeah.
thing. They just assumed that he was dead.
Yeah. It's much too dangerous to go there.
You're right.
Let's see what's down the stairwell.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That, you're like,
You know, just little
Yeah.
matches. It seems like you could have found a lighter somewhere.
this is a
You
hospital.
know, I know. Yeah, that's true. Ain't supposed to be no lighters anywhere.
I'm surprised they found matches, but yeah.
Yeah, really. Where'd those come from?
I don't know where they came from.
Flashlight,
Or a flashlight.
It's amazing how long this match stays lit.
Yeah, that never happens for me.
It's But it's still not. It's still kind of keeping on. I mean, that's realistic too. Is how really long it's really not being on there.
getting hit with daylight. That hurts.
Oh yeah,
And they
he
just
hadn't really seen
and they leave
daylight in a long time.
I like how they leave the it over exposed on the
Yeah,
camera
no, that's
shot
pretty
anyway.
cool.
Makes you think that. Yeah.
You want to know what's outside or whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't show you what's
Because usually
outside.
that's a mistake. While you're,
Yeah.
it's like no, it's
Oops.
not. So he made it out. I know he runs into something. Oh, rusty metal feels great on bare feet. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Right next to the smell of death.
Yeah.
Everybody's favorite smell. Rotting corpses,
No, that's
flies.
He's walking on all that crap.
Yeah.
You notice he's not hurting. I'd be going, ow, ow, ow.
I'd puke.
Yeah. Looks like a lot of head injuries there, so they're probably taken out
Yeah.
Which was smart.
as zombies. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're rotting pretty good already. So yeah, I guess it makes sense. Months, maybe, that he was in there. Yeah.
At least.
And he's freaking out.
Anyway, it wasn't a year. I know that. It was probably like once.
Mm-hmm.
They probably may say it in dialogue.
It's pretty good. I forgot all about this scene, but really good,
Yeah.
really good acting. So what would you do? You wake up and then
you
the
see
whole world's
dead
dead.
bodies all around you.
That's the thing. It'd be hard for me for as a writer or an
Yeah,
actor.
then you see a wide shot and it's holy shit.
Not knowing how would a normal person react to this? How would you react to this?
Yeah,
You know.
and that's how I think that's the point of the show.
You don't know where you like.
I don't think they
He's
come
a
up with these
deputy
shows.
sheriff, but doesn't mean that he's used to seeing dead bodies all around or anything like that.
Right.
Right there waiting.
Yeah. A Huey, old school.
We think it's all green screen.
No. None of that is. I'd say that's all there.
Yeah. It looked
'Cause you
almost-
can
It
get-
did kind of like maybe it was a green screen at that point.
Could be, but I think it's
But
all
I
that's
think,
all
yeah,
stuff
he's
they
on-
got.
He's
Because Hueys aren't that hard of a thing to get, and neither are Humvees as far as like TV shows and stuff. Tanks are harder to get. The Bradley fighting vehicle is probably the big costing kind of piece they got for this. But even the Bradley fighting vehicles aren't used as much anymore because they're.
my feet would be so messed up. I know that's such a little thing.
No, you're
such
right.
a silly thing, but I mean.
I love the zombie right here.
Dying.
The half a zombie
Yes.
crawls after him, don't it?
That makeup.
Yeah, really good. Oh, jeez.
It's so funny to see Rick react these ways now. That
Yeah.
I've seen those later
Now he wouldn't even
episodes.
change an expression, just like, psh, or ignore it. Like, that
Yeah,
zombie's not going to
exactly.
get me. Oh, well, yeah, it's just there. Yeah, zombies are almost sort of just part of the landscape in the later
Yeah.
episodes and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like trees.
Yeah, they are. They're just like, yeah.
And they go, look, a
Now it's
zombie.
like,
The real danger are the other humans, which is sort of like the point.
This show ruined every zombie movie, though. You can't make a zombie movie now. What's the point?
yeah.
There's a few that came out early on. Y'all ever heard of Juan of the Dead? One of
Yeah.
the few movies made in Cuba that actually kind of got a notice, and that director went on to work over here on.
I have heard of that before.
He works on the From Dusk Till Dawn TV show. He directs it.
Oh, okay.
It's,
Yeah, but his foray into it was Juan of the Dead. It was a zombie outbreak in Cuba. So that was his house.
yeah.
He freaking out.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah,
think we would all be freaking out.
we'd all be
when,
freaking out. Yeah, I don't even see how I would have even made it there.
Yeah,
My
really.
feet would have just like blown apart by the time.
Yeah.
I probably
My feet would.
Yeah,
My feet would be all red
What do
and
you
bloody
do?
and everything like that.
it's like, well, I guess I don't have to pay my bills.
Yeah, really. I'd much rather
Bright
pay
side,
bills than deal with zombies.
Yeah. I'm just trying to help Rick out, man.
Optimism is good for you.
Yeah.
Off the market question.
Yeah.
But it is relatable.
Yeah.
Do you guys think they just? I personally, in my opinion, I believe they're not making these types of shows and movies for nothing. I believe somebody knows that something like this is gonna go down. Do you guys think anything like this is possible? I think maybe not now, but
Here's the thing, anything's possible, and honestly,
Yeah.
any place that's been devastated by war or something like that is going on now, think of Aleppo or something like that right now. That's even more devastated than this. It's a wasteland of just little tiny rocks, and it used to be a metropolis. You know, so you think about those kind of instances, that's about as bad as it gets. And that's still going on. So you have like, you know, you can make the comparison of the zombie outbreak to being like war is one that comes out, because it's one of the things that happens with humans involving lots and lots and lots of death. You know, that's sort of comes to mind.
It's a kid.
Oh yeah,
Morgan's kid.
that's right.
Who's?
Morgan,
who was sort of the mystery character for a little while.
He
in
gets
the first
back.
one.
He
Yeah.
meets him, but there he is, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did the kid die in a dying?
Yeah, he died off screen. He said that he
Later
died
on,
later
yeah.
on.
And in real life?
No,
Oh,
the
okay.
character. Yeah.
I was about to say what?
I mean, the actor could be dead. I don't know, but I ain't heard nothing.
Yeah, because I remember seeing him again.
They thought he was a zombie. That's why they kind of he hit him.
I would have made sure I got a bigger gun than a 38, but I guess you just take what you can get.
I think I would be like, always
You know?
I'm sorry.
I'd be happy.
I know.
Zombie apocalypse. I don't think you don't have
It's all
to
your
wait
fault,
for whatever.
Randall.
I would really like the fact that I could just have anything I wanted, but really at the same time, what's the point now? You know?
Right, yeah. Well, materialism,
Money.
that's interesting. Materialism means nothing in this
Yeah.
world. Nothing.
Yeah.
this, I guess.
People try to build it again, you know.
Yeah.
But really, you know, and if you're in this thing, then it's the skills that you have, the ability, what can you take, what can you do, you know. I think, honestly, if something like this happened, a lot of people would die because a lot of people aren't prepared to even, like, take care of themselves. So it's...
I would be so happy to be fit. I'd be skinny finally.
Yeah. Was it worth the price? I would be too. I'd be like, I don't know.
I know. How could you even be remotely overweight?
Yeah. I'm hoping the world holds itself together.
At least not this Blake.
I mean,
Devastating.
I don't know, with everything, with all these businesses shutting down and malls being empty, it's starting to look like populous
That is true,
cities.
Dorothy. There's all
Everywhere you go now, everything's
Here's
empty.
the deal.
Everything is online now. It's just
Yeah.
crazy.
It's just a different world.
We're moving into a new kind of thing. A lot of things that were tried and true for decades, well, guess what? People aren't going to make their money from factories and stuff anymore. We got to make big decisions on what happens in society. You know, new technologies there. There are things that, you know, there's no reason for us to all be hurting and suffering.
Yeah.
But we got to somehow manage to come together, get over our differences, and, you know, kumbaya ourselves into a better world. I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
Let's hope.
I'm kind of 50-50. I'm equally a pessimist with my optimism.
They still trying to figure out, is he going to change or not?
And they're already kind of used to how the world is.
See that? Yeah, they
right
see him
now.
as a
They're
possible
watching.
zombie, where he's seen him as these are two people I don't even know. This could be crooks or it could be something going on.
Right.
Because he's a deputy sheriff, where he's automatically thinking this bad side of people.
Right.
He's still
Why you up?
But also his bonds have been cut. He is free to walk around, so that's
yeah.
something.
I don't know, man. This is some scary stuff.
Yeah.
If ever that happened in real life, it is some scary shit to think
That's
about.
why, you know, I value my friends and family. And those are,
Yeah.
you know, you look for
You never know
people
when you
you
need them.
immediately can kind of count on, you know, or no. So just make wise decisions with who your friends are, and make friends with resourceful people.
This is just the beginnings too of what
I'm screwed then.
of the rules of the world.
You know a few people.
This is the like some of these what he's telling them is like the rules of the world now.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
you don't
always called them
understand.
walkers. They never called them zombies.
Yeah. But we would all say zombie because we know that word already. Yeah.
But in this world, I guess they never know the term zombies.
Yeah, and it's neat. Different groups call them different things.
Yeah.
You know.
What was the other word?
Let's see. Walkers. I forget the other, but they had all the different
think
groups
they
had
call
different
them,
names for them. You know.
They never call them zombies.
No. Which is pretty cool. 28 days later, they didn't call them zombies. They just said infected.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they weren't really living dead. They were just, they'd gotten the rage virus.
Yeah.
And they don't even eat. You just go up to people and destroy their body. You're just pulling people apart, you know.
Those were the fast ones, weren't they?
They sprinted, yeah.
Yeah, those
They're
were scary.
Yeah.
I love these zombies. You couldn't run.
Yeah, yeah. But I like the slow ones. The magic thing about them is you don't know they're there until it's too late. And then you're surrounded by 30 of them. How are you going to get away?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's telling it.
That's true.
Basically saying this is.
Yeah, so they're explaining like...
He's saying, basically telling him. Oh.
Neat way to set up the world, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm really glad we weren't spoon-fed like, well, this happened, and then this happened, and then these people got infected, and then it went, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, zombies are hard. It's hard to make a zombie thing now that's can be taken, because this is just zombiness to
Well,
death,
it's going
this
into
show.
detail. I mean, that's the thing about television shows in general is that they can go into detail, go
Deep.
seasons and deep and into characters and you know any kind of whatever they
Even
need
taking
to.
in a current, like, I hate to use the word zeitgeist, but might as well, the current sort of feeling of society, they can kind of
Right.
incorporate that in more immediately into the show, you know.
Where 2 hours or whatever, how much your movie is, you kind of got so much to.
Yeah, it's
Put out there.
difficult story-wise, you know. It's a luxury to have, like, seasons of a show to develop a character instead of 5 minutes in a feature film, you know. Yeah, first season and into the second would just really strong first off, and it grabbed a really big viewing audience. The opening I always liked, kind of artsy and kind of neat, you know,
Yeah.
shots of decay and stuff, and they always did sort of a different one for each season. And Rick is entirely like, he doesn't really know what's going on yet.
Yeah, he's still in the haze of because he just told him that some of the stuff, and he's like, "This is
Yeah.
still."
I'd be so bored.
Huh?
I'd be so bored. I'd want to die.
Yeah.
Because I'm the type of person, I can't even handle the snowstorm being my house for 3 days.
Getting used to no electricity, going back to the old ways of life, you know.
Having to actually conversate.
Yeah.
You're such a millennial.
I am.
I thought that was a derogatory term for you.
No,
I was
it's the
trying to-
It's the truth. I hate it. I love my TV and.
You're such a Gen Xer.
Huh?
You're such a Gen
Who, me?
Xer.
Yeah.
But I played outside as a kid. I
I am
didn't stay inside and watch TV when I was a kid. I played outside, and if I'm gonna, I'd rather be outside than stuck inside with nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotcha.
Well, you can go outside, but you just have to deal with zombies.
Yeah, I don't want to have to kill something every time I go outside.
Wow. And so they're all just kind of wandering around.
Because he brought them near because with a gunshot he had earlier.
It's like they smart, they know.
Because I mean, it's just like there's his wife,
Oh, yeah.
That's
or his wife.
like you really gotta hang around here.
Yeah. So you kind of wonder, you know, is there anything human left in the walkers, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
Is
there
there
was
anything there?
there was a point when he was about to shoot his wife that you could just kind of like, I don't know, you could kind of see it.
Yeah. I know Romero's touched upon that in like his movies.
And she's come around this house too, just staying around, coming around the house.
Yeah, it's like there's a memory
I think
there.
at this
something.
point in time anyway, that they wanted to kind of maybe go with that to say.
They were showing they were gonna get somewhere someday.
Right.
Right. Kind of interesting in the
That-
Morgan character. You only see him little bits in the first 3 or whatever seasons, and then he becomes solid main character.
Yeah. Well, he has ups and downs too.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like one thing he wanted to be pacifist, then the next day he was going to be.
They flip-flopped him quite a bit.
They flipped up a couple of people, didn't they? And that was part of the problems that people were having.
Yeah.
With the show.
It was pretty interesting early on, though, when he was just sort of here and there. You know, because they all hit rock bottom. Both of these guys both hit rock bottom, losing just about everybody in their life and stuff. Yeah, I didn't see the episode where Carl gets it, so I don't know how all that went down. But
You don't see it really.
Yeah.
He gets bit by Walker, but then he keeps on for days after that because he doesn't know he knows he's been bit, but I think it happened to where he didn't know he was been bit, or he knew he'd been bit, but he didn't tell anybody about it.
Where'd he get bit at?
He was trying to help that. The character is still around. A doctor or a guy who was like trying to get with somebody he was out on his own or whatever type of thing.
Right.
And see, by this time Rick everybody was distrusting of anybody that came around, and so Carl still had that sense of optimism around him or whatever type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So he spoilers for anybody watching this, but anyway.
Right.
But he went out to help the guy, and the guy was being attacked by zombies, and that's when it happened. Where he got, which I saw it happen, but they didn't never say anything about it. Like, I mean, nobody said anything about it because he didn't say anything about it. And then he got bit, and then he like for days and days and days, and Negan's group, the Saviors, were going to attack Alexandria. They were standing outside the gate, and Carl said, "Come on," and he knew he was going to die. Everybody was like escaping out, like they had set up something where they escape out the back of Alexandria or somewhere or another, and Carl said, "Come on, bring it," or whatever type of thing to me. Or no, he didn't say that, but I mean, I'm paraphrasing. But because Carl knew that he was gonna die anyway, so it didn't really matter. Yeah. So it wound up that they, went into Alexandria, and they got. Oh, that's right. They could escape into the sewer of Alexandria. There's a sewer underneath Alexandria.
There's some rotten
that the
zombies
Saviors
down there.
the Saviors didn't know about. Right. So they all escaped down there, and he wound up dying in that down there because he had been bitten. So this was like
Did he turn?
After that. No, he killed himself.
How?
He was dying. On the wrist, he could chop his arm off.
Well, it was like a wound right here or something like that.
Yeah.
But he just shot. Everybody left because the Savior had gone away or whatever, and so everybody was leaving, and they left him to take a gun and kill himself.
I wouldn't have. I couldn't have done that.
But he would have to turn though.
Yeah, at least be dead. Just have somebody else kill you.
Would you want to kill your members?
No, I wouldn't.
That's what I'm saying.
But I couldn't do it myself. I mean, I don't know. I'm not in that situation.
I've been in a zombie apocalypse. Okay, I understand.
Which brings me to my next question: what would y'all do in a zombie apocalypse?
I'd probably be dead before the first 3 minutes. I'm like, quite honestly.
I don't know that I would survive. To be honest with you.
That's.
I'm not a.
My dad would probably live through it and be alive at the end. But
I'm not a hardcore person.
Not a.
I'm a softie.
Make it, but probably die.
Yeah.
And I can't, and I hate eating things that are but you know what? I could turn into a totally different person the moment something happened that I had to survive.
It's the fight or flight thing. You don't really know.
I don't want to die
until you are set up. Like I could, attack you right now, but you think, if I attacked you, I'd ball up or whatever. But then,
well, I know I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, but I mean, but
I get what you're saying though.
Yeah, but but then maybe you just like punch me before I even got to you or whatever type thing,
Well, yeah, reflex.
Yeah.
But like you said, yeah, it's just survival of the fittest.
Or if you don't get in a situation a bad situation, that all that mentality, it will change. Like
I
you
would
get in
really-
a survival situation where you
Yeah.
feel like you can't make it.
It's just you.
I
And,
really
These
hate
things that hit you hard, and you
Yeah.
to see my cats die though. That's the thing.
you'll make it.
I'm not gonna lie.
this is.
That'd be the worst.
Yeah, I want the world to get better. I want life to get a little better.
I do
for all
find
of
it kind of
us.
funny that he did shave. They do have him shaving a lot during times or whatever, and
Uh-huh.
I guess he's the protagonist, so he's got to look good or whatever type thing.
Uh-huh.
Rick was anyway, but he and it's kind of funny that he shaves or whatever because he's just like.
Yeah.
Because he's a leading man, so he's got to be looking good.
This topic came up with my friends a little bit, loosely related, but sort of maintaining.
See, Morgan doesn't shave.
But sort of maintaining how you were before the end.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe
You know,
that's
keeping
maybe
up
that's
that
what.
kinda thing.
But I
Like-
think it's because the leading man's got to look good too.
Like Shane and that guy who always kept all the guns in the bag. They always ran. The older dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dale. Dale.
Yeah.
Dale was almost a representation of the old world.
Yeah.
And how you should be. Shane is like, well, the new world. This is how you should be.
All right.
Yeah. An asshole.
Yeah, and Rick is sort of like the lion tamer. Except he gets, because I would not want to be Rick, because God, he gets just like,
It's amazing
It's
how
rock
after
bottom.
he takes a shower, now he's standing up straight and he's not hurt no more.
Yeah.
That's what I think is funny
Yeah.
about this scene.
You know what a good shower could do.
Right?
True.
I love
Very
showers.
true.
Look at me.
Hot water
Because
helps
I mean,
stress.
he's still
That's all I
wearing
can
like
say.
his hat and everything like that. I mean, like, and he always wears his hat.
I'm still a cop. He's still a cop for a while.
Yeah, he's still. He's got a new uniform and everything like that. That's why he looks good at the beginning because it's kind of a.
Mm-hmm.
He done it.
Because he's in the end, he had sort of had a big beard going on.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
points in time he does have a
Yeah.
big beard or whatever.
His hair got gray too.
Yeah.
But then they
I don't
got
think
to,
that would
but then,
look good.
but then that's when they got to Alexandria, and that's when he again he
Shaved
did it all
again.
shaved again and cut his hair and looked good. He looked good again, almost similar to what he uses now.
Yeah.
But you could still a little bit of age had to come on him though.
Mm-hmm. Some of the dialogue's actually right out from the comic too, which doesn't surprise me. You know.
No,
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I saw Zombie.
Yeah, the cop dude. That's right. He was with Rick and Shane in the first.
yeah,
in
Leon,
that first scene. Yeah, when they were fighting the.
He's on that side. Curious and dumb. Can't leave him.
Yeah. It'd be fun to work on this show, I think. To be
Yeah,
a zombie
really.
extra, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's another dude, Jeremy Ambler, which is funny. It's a walking name. Zombies kind of amble. Worked with him at least once, and he was a zombie. It's sort of like once you're a zombie, you kind of get typecast as a zombie. We got a lot of digital blood there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Very.
Lots of digi blood.
Yeah, that was very digital.
Oh yeah. It's
Not gonna
like,
lie.
we aren't showing the ground, so it doesn't matter. Digital blood away. And in the wide shots where it's
Although
supposed to
they
hit the
honk-
ground,
they honking.
it's funny how digital blood dissolves before it hits the ground. Boarding up doors and windows and all that kind of stuff.
Oh my
It was
God,
a big
I would
part of
never
Night
leave.
of the Living Dead.
It would be so boarded. Maybe go to Lowe's.
Yeah, think about it. Yeah. How do you get your
I think
feet?
it's.
Yeah.
You know,
go
I
for
think my thing
supplies and
is-
stock up.
I would just keep driving.
Gasoline though,
I know.
and then you're gonna have to bring a thing because everybody else is driving too. You're not gonna get your gas from gas stations. You're gonna have to
That's
get
true.
it. You're gonna have to take a siphon. You're gonna
Ugh,
have
I
to
gotta go.
and then stick it in,
I would be the one that actually drink it.
and you die. You
Yeah.
know? He didn't die from the zombies. He died from gasoline.
Yeah.
But yeah, people die. That's part of the deal.
I know.
Yeah. Think how many people died just like getting nervous and getting trampled, you know? You think people were, going for the new Elmo doll trampling each other to death. Think if there's an attack.
That really happened?
Yeah. It was a Black Friday maybe like 10 years ago.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Elmo doll was popular, but yeah,
Yeah.
people got trampled to death.
Oh my god, did somebody
Getting
really
a
die?
deal. Huh?
Did somebody really die though?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Black
somebody got
Friday.
real,
Oh my
man.
God. Yeah.
Somebody got stumped all over and dragged and got killed.
For
I
an
remember
Elmo
that.
doll?
More than one occurrence too. Black Friday. Watch the Black Friday 2-part episode in South Park. It's great.
God.
For
Sick.
stupid material toys that kids are not gonna play with but one time.
Yeah.
Right?
His wife had a lot of model pictures to her.
Right,
I mean,
right.
I'm sorry, but that just like
Mhm.
a lot of them is just like he's
Maybe
with
she's
a
a
model.
Mhm.
And those pictures don't really look.
They don't look like they're shot at home. They look
Yeah,
like
they don't
were-
look like
yeah.
family type stuff or
Right.
whatever. It looks
Right.
like a lot of taking on a. I mean, look.
It
I
could be.
look at that
Maybe she
one.
was. Maybe she was a model or
Yeah.
something like that.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Or maybe they just used it.
It just, I mean, there's glamour shots. There's places that you can go to and get all dolled up or whatever and look like a model, but these don't even look like those.
What's funny is I always thought, well,
Yeah.
you know,
I thought there was a turtle.
silencers are usually the way to go with guns, and they did utilize silencers once, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
She's still living.
wow.
As if you can find silencers.
Yeah, yeah. Or you can make them too, but it's like, you know.
That is gross.
But I guess silencers can get used up and broken over time too, and they always keep getting their guns stolen from them.
They're like a guy I went to high school with.
Good. You didn't like him, did you?
Exactly.
You didn't like him, did you?
No.
Okay, there you go. He got him for you.
Mhm. Zombie programs are always a place for sniper scenes.
Because I think he wasn't sure about. That's why he gave him the gun, saying it's not easy to use or whatever type thing, and that's why he's doing target practice basically. He's learning how to shoot,
How to use it.
how to
yeah.
use it.
But then it's like the noise will keep bringing them.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
Then you got like what's his name using a crossbow. So at least you got that doesn't cause a noise so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you gotta retrieve your arrow
Yeah.
all the time.
Well, they use bows too here and there, and so.
Only when they get really close up, you can tell it's makeup. But
Yeah, yeah.
from a certain distance, the shit looks.
It's
real.
great.
Um,
It can't get better than that. It's really good.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm pretty convinced. It's because it's not real.
Right.
There's nothing about that says fake to me.
Mhm. And you can find plenty of the real online and stuff, so you can like compare. Like the makeup people look at the real thing, and they look at real wounds and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and figure out how to do that. You know, digital blood
Definitely.
and then real blood. They use both. They probably have like a hydraulic or like one of those little tube things
Mhm.
underneath to do the blood on the grass, and then they just
Explode.
throw the filter, the digital filter on
This
top
is
as
white
another
vinegar.
layer. Yeah.
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 Interesting. You know, it's always interesting to watch stuff without the sound. Then you get more of the drama almost and the emotions. You know, kind of hitting you. 'Cause
Yeah.
you know they're hitting you with some kind of music and some kind of other thing. But just watching the performance stripped down to without sound and stuff is always pretty. You know, adds power to it.
you say some kind of music. Yeah.
Kind of washes over it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it makes it not as important.
Yeah.
You know.
It'd be hard to shoot my wife too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of the drama from this show is
Killing murder and
killing
killing your loved ones.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well, yeah. I think
Yeah,
my
but-
first thought was like, can we save this person? Why would I want to kill
Yeah.
him?
that goes without saying. Though, if I turn into a zombie like right now, kill me quickly. Just yeah. Shove that microphone through my head.
I was gonna do that anyway, but that's another story. Yeah.
I would not use a microphone. Maybe it's long, pointy thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched a movie the other night called Bad Match on Netflix.
Huh.
This guy murders this girl with a 40-inch long arm. A long arm from like, you know, the C-stand.
Oh.
I was like, what the hell?
Ow.
And then I saw the gobo head, and he was like,
Yeah.
smack her in the head with it.
Actually, those are good weapons.
Yeah, they are. They
Good
were.
club.
The first group.
Oh yeah.
It's
It's like, oh, we're gonna be in the
they're all
show
dead.
forever.
They're all dead, right?
Yeah, I know. Gosh, almost everybody
Yeah.
except for Carol and.
Well, no, Carol's with them.
Yeah.
No, I mean no.
Oh, you mean
everybody's
see-
dead except for Carol.
Oh yeah, I'm
and,
sorry. Yeah. Daryl.
And Daryl.
Which Daryl's not even a character in the comic books.
No, he was totally made up,
He
and
was made up for the show.
and honestly, the only reason he's around is because fans liked him.
Yeah. It's Shane.
I like the actor.
See,
who
now
was
you're
his
seeing,
brother.
then the audience now is like, oh, Shane's there, you know.
Yeah.
We've seen the, because we don't, I guess we knew what Laurie looks like, 'cause he did see pictures of her.
Right.
And Carl, golly, Carl looks so cute.
He's a kid.
I know. Now
Yeah.
he's like 18, 20, something like that.
Wow. Yeah, kind of interesting. So Carl's Shane's sort of the leader
Yeah.
right now.
That's why I felt bad for him also, cause like he was a leader, and then Rick comes and takes the woman, the kid, and you know what I mean.
Yeah. There can only be one, so one of them had to die. And then he had to go on and be the Punisher, so you know,
Yeah.
there you go.
There he is. Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is awesome. I
Yeah,
love
which
it.
is a
He's
really
great
good.
in the Punisher.
Yeah, he's a good Punisher.
He was in the Punisher.
He's the Punisher.
He's
In the
this
TV
television show
Oh, I didn't
Punisher
know that.
on Netflix.
Mhm. Watch a second season of
Daredevil.
Daredevil. It's
Yes.
the introduction of the Punisher. It's awesome.
And then he has his own series on there too.
The Netflix series, yeah.
Mhm.
He was also in another movie too. He was in
Fury
the movie,
was a tank movie.
Yeah, he's been
Yeah.
He's in a bunch of stuff now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the movie Snitch with The Rock.
Ah.
He was in that.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I remember seeing that.
Mhm.
He's a good actor.
Mm-hmm. So they're an item right
Golly,
now.
Laurie,
It's so funny.
seeing Laurie too is like, or you know, what's it, her? Yeah, her name was
Yeah,
Lauren,
yeah.
right?
I know, and
Seeing her like,
I really
what
like how they
happened
did
to her.
that.
And she was so frustrating later on.
She did
Ah,
get kind of annoying.
I did not like
when
her
she,
later
when
on.
She, when she died, it was like,
Yeah,
she's
you
dying.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, different characters have become like the target of annoyance. So
Yeah.
Carl off and on a little bit.
Yeah, he did get annoying too.
Rick.
There.
Rick sometimes, yeah.
Well, they kept on putting him. I don't know. Like I said, he kept on going. We were just talking about up and down, flip flopping him. You know, he was
Yeah.
he pacifist. Now he wants to be badass. Now he wants to be pacifist. Now he wants to be badass.
They did it with
It's
him.
like-
They did it with Morgan. You know, it
Yeah.
happens in other TV
They
shows
did
too.
with
like-
Carol. They did with Carol too, because she was
Yes.
going through it. I mean, it's just like
Oh yeah.
it's okay to do that. We understand the controversy of thinking, okay, I want to kill, you know, because I got to kill. But then
Right.
again, it gets to the point of like, oh, I don't want to kill. I want to be But it was just too much, too many people, too much at one. You know, it seemed like
Yeah.
it happened. Okay, right after another, and boom, boom, boom. And
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
like,
And when they first started doing
yeah,
hit
this
and
is when
runs
you-
on the saviors, like that was like, okay, guys, they may be bad,
Yeah.
but what y'all did was
Was
really
the-
awful.
Yeah. Oh, so there again, that a lot of that stuff too. It's just like it's. It got a little bit of annoying after
He
a
gets
while.
found in the second episode, right?
Who?
Rick. They find him in the second episode. Because that's where like, Glenn
Oh.
finds him in the tank.
Either right at the
Yeah.
end. Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right.
Um,
And this one actually, he ends up. I think we end up in the middle of Atlanta, and he's in the tank predicament. I think we
yeah.
end with that on this one.
Mhm.
I think.
Yeah.
I can't
guess
remember.
it is.
I know he gets inside of it and stuff like that, but.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This is when he gets a horse at this point
Yes. Oh, I love that shot of him riding the horse into Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
right here.
You
And
see Atlanta in the back.
and it's like,
wow, this is
that's
so
not
surreal.
Atlanta right there whatsoever.
It's a map
yeah. Well, I mean, no, I mean that's not Atlanta because there's no traffic.
Well, yeah. But, yeah. Okay.
That's a joke.
And that shot was also in the comic book, from what I remember.
Yeah, I think so. It is.
There he is.
kind of funny to see him just like.
Yeah, this reminds me of like the
Uh-huh.
Night of the Living Dead stuff in the country, farmhouses, that kind of stuff. I wonder if we'll get a nod to that in here. I think. God forgive us. Oh, they committed suicide. Yeah, a lot of people did that. Some little farmer. That really reminds me of Night of the Living Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Just that kind of thing.
God, that's so gross.
Gosh, they made it look good.
Mm.
You know, that stuff smells.
This is television too.
Yeah,
This is not something you see on television. Especially
No, this is
back
very movie.
then. This is
you know.
definitely.
Yeah.
They're starting to do that more now. I've noticed
Yeah.
with TV shows. It's not TV shows unless you're like
over the-
reality, not
Right.
reality, but like where they laugh and like comedies.
Well, back in the day, TV was kind of looked down upon. If you're a TV actor, you were pigeonholed in there, and movie actors would kind of look down on you,
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. Really funny. There's a movie that had Michael J. Fox and Sean Penn in it.
Yeah,
And,
I watched it.
Casual
yeah, in
War.
one of the scenes, Sean Penn, and it was kind of on purpose, just to get Michael J. Fox into
He
that
was,
kind
he
of.
was still on television.
But there was Sean Penn walked past him, and he was supposed to say something nasty to him. He said, "TV actor," and he went on.
That poor
Which was a big.
Which Sean Penn is a douche. I'm sorry.
I
but
know, no, he is.
I know. Sean Penn, I've heard.
My
of.
mom.
I've heard of.
My
it.
mom ran into him, like literally bumped into him one time with Madonna at the Hard Rock Cafe in New York.
Wow, that must have been a long time ago because they were.
It was in the 80s,
Okay.
yeah. When they first
They-
were dating, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Sean Penn, I'm kind of
I've heard
50-50.
I've heard
about.
just what I've heard.
terrible things about
I've heard
him.
him
but
just
then,
like
Yeah.
not even like
him as an
let's
actor.
say terrible things. Just like he's just a douche. I mean, it's just like
Didn't he do Sean
he needs
Penn?
that been taken down, man. I mean, somebody just needs a. Ooh.
Just I think so.
It's back in the early 2000s.
He directed a movie called The Pledge with Jack Nicholson. He directed.
I remember The Pledge, and then some movie called Just Cause.
And I like Sean Penn and some of the characters he played. I think he's a decent actor, but I've heard some, especially early on, the Madonna thing was not. He was not a good guy then and stuff. But it was kind of funny. He can play a really good douche in a movie, like just the worst kind of guy.
Because he is.
Because he is.
I like that shot.
I remember seeing
Yeah.
this shot. in
This shot's great.
because you're just like.
Because I think we pan up as he keeps going in that wide. I really wish they didn't even cut to the close-up.
This is when I think this is a
But
fictional
that shot-
story.
Yeah, yeah.
This
Big
is,
Matt Payne.
this is when I figured out it's a fictional story.
That's
This
cool.
is
That's
really
a
fictional because there's no traffic
But
on
I
both
took
sides.
that road into work every day.
I used to drive downtown. Yeah, I used to have to
40 minutes to
deliver
go 10 miles.
down there.
Ew. I'm never, ever. Like, I'll just get rid of my car. Walk.
It does kind of
That's
make
not-
me wonder, how do they get it where, when it's a city full of people,
I
how
was,
do they get it
I
where
was
it's
thinking
deserted?
that too,
Here's
even
the
when
deal.
even
You
back
find
then.
sometimes, and you can block off like a street and stuff, but then you get very talented special effects people to come in and paint out stuff. You can do that.
Yeah.
They did it in another one that we talked about before, in 28 Days Later. They had to make England look totally desolate, which is hard to do, especially downtown Britain. You know, it's a big population urban center. But they shot different times of day when there were people there. Occasionally there's a shot where way in the background there's a car that goes by. And even in this show, sometimes there'll be a shot where there's a tiny little thing in a shot like an airplane.
How
or
would they
something,
get New
you know.
York to clear out? You know, they got.
You just, you know, like this is Atlanta. They made this look that way.
This was
Yeah.
This was
You just got that
When it's
money.
still
You can
open.
pay for the cops to block it off and,
Yeah.
and make it happen. And then you have special effects people to take care of the background.
And people don't care because they want to see their town being have a movie made in it.
And
well,
this
they may film on like a less
Busy street.
people,
Sure.
this busy time frame
right.
too.
That's
'cause-
it. You'd find places where there time of day where there's not a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff.
'cause
Sunday
Sundays
mornings are good.
yeah,
you know?
Sunday mornings. Because
Full
I
daylight.
drove downtown one Sunday and was there were some streets kind of like I mean not like this before,
Sure.
but they were empty. You know, kind of.
Sure. And
Of
imagine
course.
this show you're going to want to shoot during the warm months of the year.
Oh, they do shoot down there.
Okay,
I've
they
heard
did
a
get
lot of stuff.
They did
how
get
they
a
shoot.
tank. Okay,
Yeah.
it's an M1A1. Never mind. It's not a Bradley fighting vehicle. Or is it?
Them crows look so real.
Well, they are.
They are real?
Yeah, the birds. Yeah.
What do they, how do they have them eat?
Oh, that is an M1A1.
Or do they just put like real meat on top of them?
They just put something there that the birds like, yeah. And they just have animal wranglers who take care of all that. They just coordinate with the makeup people and put the food where it needs to be. And you got second unit getting that shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your main unit.
See, a lot of people don't bring up about this helicopter. He's hearing a helicopter.
Right.
They don't
There it
ever.
is.
After this point in time, nobody brings up this helicopter. I remember this scene because I mean it's from the very like I said the first episode.
Right.
It's this helicopter. Nobody brings up this helicopter after this time.
Oh, yeah, that's shocking when he runs into all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right about the helicopter.
Because
start
those
Don't they tie it back in eventually?
they get helicopters, but they don't say. But it doesn't have anything. Like nobody says anything about. Like
Right.
I've seen like people who talk about the show too.
I'm sure there's a plan for
Fans or what? Yeah, they may have had a plan for that type of thing or whatever going on, but I don't know if it's the same people or not that are dealing
Right.
with this helicopter.
I want you to see.
There's got to be some good actors
Oh,
there
yeah.
because, like, you know, there's so many, the thing is, there's so many people. You could always look at that one person that's not acting very well.
Yeah. Extras. Ugh, extras can be a nightmare. Quit looking at the fucking camera. I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah. Poor horsey.
He was that was not.
Yeah.
This was another thing too. Was like
Oh.
because didn't
Are they
you don't think about that kind of stuff happening.
He got so lucky.
He says shoot. He actually says shoot. I think I'd be saying something more than.
I know what I'd be saying.
There'd be a lot
I'd
of
be
people
saying
be
a
saying
lot
the
of
same
things,
thing. Yeah.
and then I'll be four-letter words.
Oh god, well again, the closed captioning we're hearing it. I don't know. I don't remember what he's actually saying.
True.
Oh, they got a box there.
Yeah, you know. You can curse on TV. I think it's just a fine.
It's gotten
Some
more
cuts
relaxed
were
over
relaxed,
years.
for sure.
The years.
I kind
I
of credit
was
South
surprised
Park for breaking that down with the how many times they could say shit in an episode. And they had a little counter going on.
Yeah.
And the big deal is they pay a certain amount for each one.
I love that
It
scene.
was like 40 or 50. Yeah. Oh yeah. So
Where
it's
he,
just
like,
all
as
great.
soon as he puts it in, he looks up
Yeah.
and just
There's a door. Yeah.
Right.
And it sort of shows you the show. And it's like, oh god, is this guy gonna wake up next to me?
My thing is,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
were you?
You gotta watch out because that's.
I know that guy.
Oh yeah, that
he plays in a show I love.
Oh yeah.
But you gotta watch out for that. I mean,
Ricochet.
Yeah, Ricochet. That's
It's
what I was
armored.
thinking too.
Everything's armored. So
Yeah, I
it's
know.
like. Ping,
They didn't
ping,
show
ping,
it.
ping, ping,
That was
ping.
my first thing when he put up. I think when I first watched this, that was my first instinct when he put
Oh,
up
yeah.
the gun to him, because I was like thinking Ricochet or whatever type thing, and then it was just about the noise or whatever.
Mhm. But what are you gonna do? You gotta act that fast, you know, up the top.
Yeah.
I'm sure that 50 cal's empty.
Yeah,
Oh,
my guns
bummer.
are right there.
That guy didn't have that much makeup on, but okay.
Yeah, I know.
I see like his whole face. He had like some blood right there.
I noticed that too.
He had to have just died.
Yeah. It'd been that.
There we go. I think this is right at the end.
Yeah, because he gets from
Because I don't think
What's
we
his
hear
name?
Glenn.
Glenn. Thank you. I forgot his name for some reason.
I don't think we hear him at the end yet.
Yeah, you hear him on the radio.
You do.
And that's what
hear him before
that's
the
the
end?
big thing.
Okay.
That's the big thing is
At the end.
reveal is
Right,
I think,
right.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember he does. I just couldn't remember if it was at the end of this episode or the beginning of the next one.
I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know.
Uh,
We'll hear.
Yeah.
We'll see it.
Not a good place
I
to
would
be.
throw up. Mike, throw up Q right
It's
there.
like, how do I drive a tank?
Yeah. I don't
Where's
know.
the
Even know how to
manual?
drive a tank.
Where's the manual?
That's why he's debating right here. Where's the manual?
I always wonder
There
about those
was-
long takes on dead people.
Oh,
And you have to hold your breath. That would suck.
Radio crackling, that's what it is. Yeah. Hey, you. Dumbass.
yeah.
You're in the tank. Are you cozy in there? That's when,
Then we
when
end.
it cuts. And I'm like, and then you gotta wait for next
Oh,
week.
yeah, then the horse getting eaten. Yeah.
Oh.
He still gets those guns too. I would have thought those guns would have been messed up by
Right.
the time he gets to them, but he still winds up getting them.
They learn stuff along the way. Well, you cover yourself in gore and stuff.
Yeah,
It's a
they did that-
silencer,
they-
and then
I
it's like,
think
why
it's
don't you do
makes-
that all the time?
Yeah. Yeah, this is the shot.
Yeah, I
I
love
like
that
that
shot.
shot.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Just throw some blood on you. They
Just
can't
keep-
smell you.
Keep buckets of zombie guts around you, and you know.
And then-
But you wonder if zombie blood gets onto a cut or a sore
That
that
was-
you have, would it give it to you?
That's
Yeah,
a,
that's
that's a
probably
great
why I
shot. I
wouldn't
like
do
that. I love that shot.
Oh, I do too. And I bet they add, how they do that is I bet some are dummies, they just stand up, and then some are real people, and then I imagine some are digitally put in there.
Yeah, like the ones over there that aren't moving.
Yeah.
It's probably a mix of things. Yeah.
And then
But
she's like,
yeah,
next
that's
weck
it.
I mean, like you're going,
That's it.
and then you gotta like wait till next week to go get.
Now you
Solid
can binge
gore
for a whole
and
year
all
or
that
two.
kind of stuff. So yeah.
At that time, you couldn't do any of that. Unless you had the DVDs to a season or whatever, but of course this one it was on television. So.
Yeah. So there we go. We you know, I don't see a lot of commentaries on TV shows too much. Occasionally, a few.
You do, but it's going less and less like movies. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like you may get a few, maybe a pilot episode or something like
Right.
that
Mhm.
type thing.
But pretty interested to look at that, and something, you know, zombie movies, you can kind of treat it as this kind of like, oh, just monsters and,
Right.
you know, make-believe kind of stuff. But honestly, this show incorporates a lot of real-world, real-life kind of decisions and problems that we humans have anyway. You know, so it's kind of neat.
It's also bringing back society back to almost a third world nation again, you know,
Right.
to our country back to a third world.
Yeah, well, now it's even
third
sub
world.
that, it become almost synonymous with like prehistoric,
I think some people
you know,
like the idea of
hunter-gatherer
that.
days, you know, yeah.
I feel like some people like the idea of that because it can clean up all the bad,
Uh-huh.
so you can kind of start fresh without having to kill
Yeah.
everything and everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is not
It's like all the
thing.
weak die.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know?
Well, I mean, that's the thing about it. I'd be dead. You
Oh
know?
yeah, no, I would be too.
I mean, I just like I couldn't. I'm not a hunter or anything like that too. I'd be like, I don't know.
I just would be so mad. I'd be like, I don't want to start over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything I
You
live
sent
for
us
is
back
dead.
thousands of years. I don't want to.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if I wound up waking up tomorrow morning and having the whole world
Right.
be dead or like whatever,
Yeah.
I'd be like died in the next.
Depends on the situation. If there's a nice like place that's gonna have electricity forever, and you got internet and all the entertainment and everything you need
Well,
for
that's-
life,
yeah, that's
you
easy.
know. But that's
Well, who
But-
would be the entertainment?
who would have that? Yeah, exactly.
If
You know,
everybody's
very
dead.
good, very good.
Replay movies, that's what I do.
You'd have to wait till we're in the future where you can't tell humans from robots or anything like that. You know. And, anyway.
That,
You know.
but
A lot of people already said in the future too. Remember, we're seeing those movies like, or no, it was Star Trek. That episode of Star Trek we watched last week,
Yeah.
where basically it was in 1995 when the
Right.
when the Khan had ruled the world or whatever.
Yeah,
or
and it was back to empires and weird stuff like that.
yeah,
It's like,
in
yeah.
1995. That's
Oh, wow.
And this is taking place
In the 60s, 30 years
Yeah.
from then, 1995 was like, whoa, that's super advanced. Like,
yeah, no, this was
sci-fi
66.
days.
So they
Yeah.
were thinking that 95 was going to be like everybody's going to be different.
It's like the opening of the first Blade Runner movie. I think that too was 1995
I'm not
or
even
something.
sure.
And
they
it
thought
shows
wrong.
LA and all the fire and all that. Yeah.
They really
So
thought
it's
wrong.
kind of funny to see
Yeah.
stuff like that, but yeah, it's to say.
Look at the feeling of how the future is going to be is always kind of fun.
Oh, I mean, heck, we already passed what 2000. What I mean, in Back to the Future, The second one
Even
they
that,
had.
yeah.
We've already way past that. Was it
2005?
2015?
15, yeah, maybe
Because
so.
it was 2015 was
Right.
when they had the flying cars and all this other stuff going on.
Yeah, no, they're still teasing us with flying cars and flying skateboards. We don't have 3D CGI sharks coming out of the theater.
Yeah.
Like that,
I'm glad we don't. Why wouldn't we have flying cars and stuff yet? Like,
That's hard fucking technology to get. I mean, they got some early things.
We have problems driving on regular roads right now. Can you imagine people actually drone public flying in the world?
It's gonna be really dangerous.
Flying hover cars should be foot off the ground. Should not be way up there. Something kind of like, and they should drive themselves. Honestly.
Well, even that technology is still
they've
coming
got
around. That technology is
It's
coming
gonna be a
around.
while. Number 20 years, that should have a lot of
Yeah.
that stuff down. I think.
Yeah, eventually, but they're still having problems with those.
Of course.
What about cities that they're talking about building in the air? That's why they're building so many high-rise buildings now.
Yeah.
They're talking
What?
about
Get Jetsons?
The world's
building
crazy.
cities-
We're gonna be
building cities in the air.
Well, there's one talking about building a new country up in space. There's that. There's talk of that too.
Oh my god.
And not to mention all the. If things are going to go what they're saying, then we're going to see a lot of people taking off towards Mars, and I'll be like, I don't know what y'all are doing that for.
Mars is
anyway.
way down the road.
Yeah.
they're trying to get
Mars is
people
way
up
down the
there.
road.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
they're just like looking at it right now.
I know. Yeah.
That's so
Even
crazy.
going back to the moon is going to take us a while, I think.
I think about how big the Earth is and how there's another one of us out there that's just as almost as big. Oh, the Earth is the biggest planet, isn't it?
No.
Jupiter is.
Oh,
I'm not a space person.
Oh no.
Jupiter
Earth
is the biggest planet in the
Yeah,
Milky Way.
we got planets that dwarf us.
I thought Jupiter was smaller.
Jupiter's huge. Saturn's huge. Like what
Yes.
1,000 Earths can fit inside of Neptune, I think, or
Okay,
something like that.
Oh my God.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know fully. I know.
And then you go to
Jupiter,
stars.
vaguely remember Jupiter.
Well, there
look
goes
at
your
Lost.
space right there.
You look at star. Oh my God! Like Betelgeuse is astronomical. Then there's another star they found that's makes that look like nothing. I mean, it's just
Huge.
crazy, mind
This
blowing.
makes you wonder.
I think if I was shot up into space and saw that stuff, my brain would explode because it can't handle it.
Yeah, really.
But
Life out there.
I'm not trying to
No.
avoid
We
it.
need to come back to it.
I'm not trying to avoid
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But all in all, for the Walking Dead, the first season's really good. The
Yeah.
second season, I'm not saying it's boring per se, but I was watching it week to week when
Right.
the second season was out.
Yeah.
So it was very slow paced.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you're in that one place. And
Yeah,
it's-
and it's like over
That was
and
when
over
they're
again. It
in
seemed
the
like-
jail, right?
No, they're at the
Nah,
farm.
they're
They're
at
at
the farm
farmhouse.
for a while,
Yeah.
And
almost a whole season they're at the
Yeah.
farmhouse. Then they end up at the jail. They're there for about a season.
I like the jail scene stuff.
the jail's not too bad, but I mean the second season with the farmhouse is just like,
Yeah,
it's
it was
really
not
just.
boring.
The end
it's
though,
petty.
that was pretty cool.
Well, see,
Yeah,
Got
the
out
the
and
funny
run.
thing about it is my brother at the time he didn't watch it week to week or whatever type thing, and he was watching it. I guess this is when Netflix just started
First picked it up.
picked it up, and they were showing it had
Like a year
first
later than
season and
one.
second season, and I think it maybe didn't get into it maybe till the fourth season or something. I don't know anyway, but he was watching that and he said, I didn't have any problem with the second season. I'm like, yeah, because you binged it. And
Right.
like it was binging it like when you're
Rather
sorry,
than
is
waiting.
different.
And
you
it's
know?
like, oh, they're just talking in the hot farmhouse for this whole episode.
Yeah. Basically,
Yeah.
there would be episodes like that.
Well, you know you've got 20 more episodes to go. You're
and
good.
think about it, Carl would do stupid things during that time too, and it's just like, oh my god, kill the kid, please kill the kid.
That sentiment was pretty.
And I think I got kind of tired of hearing them trying to search for Carol's daughter too. That was kind of getting
they're kind
annoying.
of beating that.
They're the
dead
reason
horse
she
to
died. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like, she's
Took
kind of,
forever.
Now I like the stuff with Daryl and his brother. I liked that
yeah.
kind of bit.
That was first season. I don't even think it was the second season.
Well, I like
I
the
don't
part
remember.
where he killed himself to save the group, where Daryl's brother did.
Yeah, but that was
Silo.
like later on. Yeah, that was like later on in the seasons or whatever.
That was like
When they
third
came
season.
back, yeah.
I don't remember. I can't remember.
They were just about to take down
Was
the
he-
governor. It was before the big attack. with
Yeah,
the
because he
tank
joined the
and stuff.
governor. His brother Merle joined the governor. He was one of the governor's lackeys or whatever when they first found him.
Then he turned on.
Yeah.
And then he's like, nope.
Whatever happened to that blonde chick that like fell in love with the governor at first?
Oh, she died.
Yeah.
She was killed by him, wasn't she? Or
She left him in a
somebody.
room with zombies or something like that, tied up. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
something.
I don't know she died. I forgot how.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, I didn't like her character. I was glad she.
I did like. And then there was that other blonde girl that Daryl kind of liked and died when they were back in Atlanta, getting out of the hospital.
Yeah,
That was one of the best
that was
episodes.
Maggie's sister.
Yeah.
I didn't like her either. She was annoying.
I didn't really care about her when we were done, but that scene.
That scene when she dies, oh my god, that was like surprised. I was
Wait,
like,
what
don't,
Yeah.
because like a gun just shot her in the head, boom, and I was like,
She
all of a sudden,
gone, and everybody started crying, and it was just like,
It's
oh
like,
my
what
god.
the fuck?
Oh man, when Glenn died down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
thought
that was
They
rough.
took forever to show that scene. They
Yeah.
just kept doing the flashbacks. It's like, when are they gonna show it? Oh my gosh! And then his eyeballs hanging out.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
I kind of like the Dave Chappelle recreation of that scene in Saturday Night Live. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's funny.
Really?
He pretends to be, he dresses up like Negan. Have you seen it? It's hilarious. Anyway, anybody else got anything to say about it? I think that might conclude our final. It's very sad. Our final
know.
episode of this season. Will there be another season? I don't know. It's very sad. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for participating.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll see you again somewhere, sometime online.